Harry Potter Magic Awakened. This is a game that just came out that I've been playing a ton of. And today I've decided to have some fun and start a brand new account and attempt to do a 100-day challenge inside of this game. Also, I just want to jump in real quick and say special thanks to Warner Brothers Games for sponsoring this video. And you can get this game by simply clicking the link in the description below or scanning the QR code you see on screen right now. And I highly recommend downloading it because you're going to be able to duel me in this game if you do. Anyway, back to the 100-day challenge. Now, obviously, this game does not have a day or night cycle we can accurately use, so we have to make our own. But before I go into that, let's just start the game. On day 1, when the game first begins, you get a letter. And when opened, it tells you that you've been accepted into the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And then on the very next day, day 2, you find your way to the famous Diagon Alley. And this is where I got to customize my character, get my wand, and I got my owl. And after battling some monster books, it was time for the real fun to begin. I made my way to Hogwarts. And so after a few days of getting settled in there, it was time to get sorted into my house by day 7. And I got sorted into...
Where shall I put you?
Hufflepuff. But because I know I'm a Ravenclaw, I went ahead and selected that anyway. And that's when my life at Hogwarts finally began. I had to start attending classes and meeting a bunch of my different classmates. In fact, on day 8, I took on a Troll and Charms class.
Volume Leviosa.
And then finally got to have my real first duel in the Hogwarts Dueling Club, which went a little something like this.
Incendio. Spiders. Inflatus.
And after winning the double duel, I was now ready for the real dueling to begin. Now, since there is no day or night cycle within this game, like I mentioned, each duel will represent one single day. And my goal by the end of the 100 days is to be the strongest wizard possible, with our goal to see just how good we can get at dueling. Now, after dueling Cassandra, we can only assume it's currently day 10, meaning I have 90 days left to go. And here is how they went. My first 10 duels went extremely well. And at first, things seemed really easy. And I mean easy. Just look at this first duel I did.
Incendio.
After that first duel, I went ahead and did a few more until I reached the bronze rank. And that's where things started getting more difficult. In fact, one of my matches was literally so close that I thought I was gonna lose. On second thought, instead of me telling you about the duel, let me just show you.
Incendio.
So as you can see, that duel was close. And that's because my deck is still using all of the starting cards I had in the beginning. But we have to change that. So that's gonna be my goal for the next 10 to 20 days or so. Make the best deck possible. Something that's going to help us continue our 10 win streak, and obviously to see just how strong we can become. And so I spent the next 20 days just learning more about dueling, the different types of cards, and of course getting some awesome cards from the shop. And I had to deal with all sorts of things during this time at Hogwarts, from dueling these twin brothers for new cards to getting some after using a key. It wasn't easy. On top of all that, I also learned how to fly on a broomstick during this time, which is one of my favorite things in all of Hogwarts. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy this view? But since we got lots of new cards after grinding, it's now time to get some easy wins and some duels. And so from days 41 to 51, I did 10 duels back to back. And what I said is exactly what happened, because for the next 10 days, I dueled every single day. And let's just say there were some close matches. Like against this witch sidekick, who was destroying every single creature that I summoned and sent their way. And also, in the beginning, they had me pretty much defeated with all the creatures they summoned and sent my way. I mean, I was on half health within minutes, and I truly thought I was gonna lose this duel. But with some patience and a good strategy to get out of a pinch, we luckily were able to use our bomb-tastic bombs to come out on top in this battle. See? What did I tell you? Some of these were close. And then there were duels like this one, which, yeah. Okay, hold up. Before this battle begins, I wanted to remind you once again that this video is sponsored by Warner Brothers Games, and you can all download this game simply by clicking the link in the description down below. Okay, back to the battle. Basically, some duels, my deck was so strong, it just felt like my opponents didn't stand a chance at all. I mean, look how fast I am just pumping my cards out there. My opponents don't even stand a chance because they're completely overwhelmed by the amount of cards I'm getting out. It just wasn't fair. Either way, my deck still just feels a bit too weak compared to some of the people I'm versing, meaning we need an even stronger deck. And that's what I did for the next 20 days. I just basically collected a ton of cards from everywhere I could find. I got cards from the shop and from all the battles around Hogwarts. It took a lot of time to get a new powerful deck put together that I knew would be unstoppable. And what made this deck so strong was the fact that I focused on overwhelming my opponent with summoned creatures. So with this incredible deck in place, it was time for our first battle as a silver. Now, I'm just gonna let you watch and enjoy this fight because it gets so crazy. I don't even want to describe what's going on. Just watch.
I've always got time. See those? Let's make this short and sweet.
Inflatus. Thunderstorm. Now you will
Where I lost really badly. Like, I got destroyed. And that was the end of the 20-day winning streak. However, this was good. That means the people I'm versing were starting to get really strong. So I went back to the drawing board and worked on adjusting my deck even further. And in the next battle, I was ready to try and win. So I threw out Incendio first thing, just so my opponent would be forced to move. Then I used my water card Aguamente to blast away some of my opponent's summoned creatures. That's when I got hit by a giant charging boar and started to get a bit nervous. Like, maybe these people are just too strong for me. I mean, I literally fell below 50% HP while my opponent was still above half. But luckily, I got them with a well-placed Incendio that did a good chunk of their health. And after defeating one of their giant green ogre trolls, I got one more Incendio off, and I won, but barely. So I knew I had to tweak my deck further. And that's when I lost my next match as well. And this kept repeating. I would win a match, then lose one, then win one, then lose one. You get the idea. But this is where I believed I learned the most. My deck was getting a lot stronger, and the battles were getting much tougher. Meaning I was just versing some really good wizards and witches. But finally, I reached the 10th battle in a row, which ended in a really shocking way. Because in the start of this duel, I was losing really badly. I mean, within just the first minute of the fight, my health was almost down to half, and my opponent was still at full HP. But that's because I was playing the waiting game, so I could summon some of my strongest cards in the second half of the battle. And after a bunch of back and forth spell casting between me and my opponent, well, this is how it ended. I lost again. Now, if I wanted to prove I was the strongest, I was gonna have to get a win streak back against these stronger wizards. So I went back to the drawing board on my deck. I even studied some awesome deck combos online, and I learned how to craft the best possible deck for me. Would it be enough to get a win streak back, or would I fail to get my previous glory? Battle 1 went a little something like this. I threw down Bombastic Bombs, a card I've begun to love, because it makes any other spell I summon even stronger. But this backfired, and I quickly got overwhelmed by my opponent's cards.
Atmosphere charm.
I mean, my health literally got down to near zero, and it was gonna be near impossible to make any sort of comeback. But luckily, with Hagrid's Bike and a bunch of other spells, we came back and were able to somehow win our first duel. And after winning that one, I went into battle 2, which started off by me using Atmosphere Charm on my opponent. Then I just continued to throw as many spells at them as I could. In fact, I threw out my new strongest spell, Pure Totem Locomotor, which gave me full control of the battlefield. By using them as a distraction, I did a lot of damage with Inflatus. And then just continued to throw Atmosphere Charm and other spells like Monster Bow. Till I eventually won the duel. And now it was time for Battle 3. If I could win this, I would get my win streak back. So I quickly threw out my 2 locomotives again, as I knew they were super strong. But my opponent took them out insanely fast.
I'll do better next time.
In fact, me and my dueling opponent both kind of went back and forth taking control of this battle. But in the end, with some great dodging using Hagrid, and summoning a ton of creatures like my Locomotors and Monster Book, I was able to win my 3rd battle and prove that I am, in fact, one of the strongest duelists in all of Hogwarts. And after getting my win streak back, there was only one thing left to do, and that was to test myself against one of my real-life friends, Unicorn Man. He is literally amazing at card games, so I figured there's no harder person to battle than Unicorn Man, who thinks he can beat me using the starting cards. Let's find out. Now, I'm not gonna interrupt this battle with me talking or anything. I'm just gonna let all of you enjoy this moment.
Inflatus. Fantastic bombs. Inflatus. Incendio. Magical. Antipodean Popular. Acromantula Venom.
And so, with Unicorn Man defeated, I have definitely proven myself as one of the strongest wizards at all of Hogwarts. Now, if you're interested in actually dueling me in this game, my friend code is on screen right now, so make sure you add me in game. And if you don't have the game, you can get it by simply clicking the link in the description down below, or scanning that QR code you see right above me. So go download the game, come add my friend code, and let's duel each other and see who's gonna win. Also, a special thanks to Warner Brothers Games for sponsoring this video.